This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis.
With Jolly Green.
And we are here to talk about the League of Legends. This is a MOBA-style battle game where we talk about what's happening in Valorant. People are beating up dudes. Wars are being prevented. There's justice and such.
And scantily clad women everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've not seen that. What?
What? I lost track.
We got a lot of interesting stuff this week. We got a new patch. We got a new champion. We got some skins for the Harrowing. A couple of sales. And some other news. So, I think that's probably on everyone's mind. Mr. Graves. You know, I was kind of surprised. Normally when a champion comes out, you see him in every game. You got to scramble to get a hold of him to play him.
Yeah.
You dodge like 4 or 5 games trying to play a Riven or something. I've seen him maybe 4 games out of like the 20.
I have never had him on my team. He's always been on the enemy team, but no one ever picks him on my team.
Yeah, it's weird.
But as soon as I buy him to go try him out or something, every game I'm going to have to fight for him.
For free Graves week, I guess. I don't know. Graves he's sort of a niche sort of fellow, which is what I was kind of expecting based on his toolkit.
He's utility.
Yeah. His damage from his abilities isn't overwhelming, but the cooldowns are relatively short, and some of the utility on some of them is very, very nice. He's a very interesting character. He's very dynamic, unlike some of the other range carries that are kind of boring. Tristana. But I like him, but not because he's a heavy damage. I like him because he's capable of a lot.
I've seen a lot of Graves on the enemy team, and all of them kind of have this pattern of they lane until they hit level 6 or 7, and then what they do is they go into jungling, but not really like killing creeps and stuff like that. They creep around the jungle, and then they will harass you and then back off into the jungle for a while. So you kind of can't keep track of Graves, and then when he wants to finish you, he throws a smoke screen, and then there's a huge gank up there, but he uses a lot of this like deception and a lot of kind of like guerrilla tactics is what I've seen, and that's what's working best for him, which is nice to see, but face to face I can really melt him down depending on what champion I'm using.
What I really like about him is how compatible he is in a lane phase, just in terms of, oh hey, I've got a lot of early game damage with my buckshot, like I can drive away most anyone who's going to try and melee harass us, and I can stop any ganks or make clutch epic kills with my smokescreen. Like, he's a really good lane.
Smokescreen is his bread and butter ability, you know? It's one of those things that's really unique to him, and it's really confusing when you get hit by smokescreen. In a few seconds, your vision just closes down.
What's going on?
It's very funny against all the free Zereths this week, though. I'm gonna go do Locus of Power. No, you can't see anything. Oh.
I have Tactical Mask Pro. This shouldn't be happening to me.
Have either of you guys looked and seen whether it can negate the effects of clarity?
I believe it does. It reduces your vision to that little area.
That would be pretty interesting to use in a tactical situation against perhaps a support or someone else who likes to use that. I know it would really mess with Blitzcrank and Mundo and all them that like to throw crap in bushes all the time.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know, it's you're saying that a collie doesn't like it.
Oh,
like,
every time I've been playing with my buddy Hufer, whenever an Akali, we were playing a lot of Dominion, but whenever the Akali would drop her smoke shroud, he'd drop his right on top of it. She couldn't, she had to run out of her Twilight Shroud to attack us. It was like, oh hey, how y'all doing tonight? I've been, ever since that, we'll get into the Hextech Gunblade nerf, but it's so funny now. But Graves, he's sort of got that bruiser feel to him with the extra magic resistances. And because his chasing ability is okay with the dash, with the attack speed, a lot of people are getting an early Frozen Mallet or a Trinity Force. So he's actually a decent chaser with, you know, he's able to protect himself if they do turn around. Great initiating tool. I mean, his ult is awesome. Low cooldown. Not the best damage. It's got an okay ratio off its bonus damage. But it definitely gives you a reason to build extra damage on him because you've got the attack speed boost from his quick draw.
I do see him being able to fill a certain niche kind of the same way that Kassadin does. His magic resistance from his passive, the smoke screen, which allows you to approach without being targeted, is really going to be a pain on any mages that have trouble with ganks. He's just a gank
Not even that,
specialist.
especially if you want to mess with someone with skill shots, Bran, Zareth, anybody with that sort of thing. You know, you can tell they have their whole combo up. You throw the smoke screen on them when they're about ready to start pulling off their combo, and they can't see what's going on, so they're going to be blind firing. And that's always a good disruptor, because for a few seconds, they're going to have to move out of the way just so they can hit their shots. And that's definitely, it hurts me, because the first time I was playing against the Gareth and stuff, I didn't know how the smoke screen worked, if it was going to kind of be, you know, if it just kind of pooled everything down to like a little bit, so you have kind of like the whole river area like right in the middle of the map, but it pulls you in really dark, so I didn't expect it first, so I'm sitting there trying to throw stuff off of Zareth, and it's very, very disorienting. So that's definitely one thing you can do, is disorient people.
For sure. I don't know, what do you give him?
I give him about a 7 right now. He's got his utility, he has some fun things to him. If you want a pure range champion, he's not going to be your choice, but if you want someone that has a lot of utility and can stay in a fight longer and still put out constant damage and kind of have sort of threat to him, he's pretty fun. You know, I like him. I'll hopefully see him in the future. What about you?
I give him an 8. I mean, his damage on his abilities, I wish it were higher scaling, because it is bonus damage scaling, but that's kind of typical now of champions, really. But I wish the damage were higher, but the cooldowns are so low, it's not that big of an issue. That's the only gripe I have with him. I love his mechanics. I love the way he plays. I love that you can really, if you position yourself appropriately, you can just do so much stuff. We love stuff here. It's my favorite.
And there's an Easter egg with Nocturne, if you don't already know.
Oh, I love that. Well, I don't know.
You okay there, buddy?
I don't know. Jolly, what do you give him?
I haven't actually played with him yet,
What?
so I don't know. He just doesn't have a real interest to me. He just kind of has a really bland flavor other than his smoke screen. So
You can't really top Zareth after last week's. Like, you got this awesome, like, pure energy.
Zareth deals tons of damage. When?
So I'm going to give him 7.5 stifled Twisted Fate laughs.
That's only 5.
That was 4, but good job. What is half of Twisted Fate laugh?
That's what Star you says, actually.
That is absolutely it.
We're rambling.
Okay, so the patch dropped.
Another tournament update with air quotes, because it's barely anything that's happened.
I'm so not interested in that, I have to say.
I like this patch.
Hex Tech nerf is all I care about, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Talon nerf is awesome. I don't get me wrong, I love playing Talon, but messing with his staying power in a lane is definitely a funny thing to watch, especially considering what's going on. Like that. Of course, messed with GP some, reduced his mobility. A lot of people were complaining about that. I was so glad when they put the display back on the Tier of the Goddess items.
Oh my goodness. I play Karthus in Dominion pretty much every single game. And I just like to know, how much mana can I get before that 1 minute 19 second mark? And it's usually only about 100.
Still. But yeah, it's nice to have that tooltip back. Hextech Gunblade nerf. Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been killing Akali's and Jaxes all day. Oh.
They think they can stack it now, and I love watching people still.
Well, not even that. It's just the stats are nerfed. So
no, they nerfed it, and you can't stack them anymore.
Well,
so
you can. You just don't get bonus spell.
Yeah,
spell vamp.
That's why they stacked them in the first place. So they're sitting there, and I saw on a call. Who was it? Who was it that had a? It was a brand. I don't know why the brand was stacking Hex Tech. He'd think he could just like spell vamp for a really large amount. He's sitting there with 3 Hex Techs, and I just blew him away. And he's just like, I'm not getting the spell vamp.
Duh.
See, the thing about spell vampirism is it's really not that overpowered of a stat on traditional mages like Vagar, Annie, even Karthus.
It was the weirdest build I've seen in a while.
It's hybrids that are really just exploiting spell vamp into the ground, which is really a bummer because it'd be cool to have some really crazy builds. Spell vamp, Vagar, just combat Vagar, just but you can't do it. Because if you do that, you're going to have Akali and Jax, and even Chobi just, ugh.
Well, on really bursty champions, it doesn't work all that well anyway, because once you finish your whole combo, you may get all the way back up to full health halfway through, and then the rest of that spell vamp is completely wasted. So when you have a sustained DPS, you're taking damage the entire time, you're dealing damage the entire time, and all of that healing is going to use.
That's true. Well, either way, spell vamp's a very crazy stat for certain things. It's really illuminating, especially on characters where you just face roll constantly.
Sauna spell vamp.
Sauna deals damage with one ability. Well, our ult.
You said face roll, and Sauna's like the most face roll
Like
character.
Holly and Annie are just. Are they dead yet? No, just do it again.
Oh, I missed Tibbers. Don't worry, it'll be up in 30 seconds.
We're complaining. Let's not do that.
All right. So for skins, let's first talk about the Graves skins.
They both look terrible.
There we go. Now we're going to go on to the cool skins. We've got 4 new skins for the Harrowing. First off, I am so disappointed that it didn't bring back last year's. I don't know why they don't like making money.
Meh.
But first off, we have Bewitching Nidalee. What do you guys think of her?
Nega Lux is all I have to say about that.
It does look like
it
Lux's...
looks like Lux's Sailor Moon skin, but a different recolor.
But Lux doesn't turn into a cat.
Definitely not Blitzcrank's hilarious. We all know how we feel about Nocturne.
Bird Nocturne. Bird turn.
Oh gosh. And for a second, Tibbers Annie, I saw this thread where Karma would have been a much better choice for the Bride of Frankenstein.
You know, it doesn't... When I'm looking at her, she does look like Karma a bit, but really tiny. So they could have put Karma...
But everyone was talking to like, yeah, but we're... Because everyone's like, we don't need another Annie skin. We just had reverse... It's been a month since an Annie
It
skin
has
came
been.
out.
Well, Riot's in love with Annie.
So really, it would have...
Blitzcrank was deserving, I do have to admit. He did have his...
Blitzcrank has so many cool skins. I love it.
I'm definitely picking up the Nocturne and the Blitzcrank one. I don't even play Blitzcrank, but I want it. Just it's so goofy. He has the nose glass combo, and he has the walk like I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I want.
Well, besides, they have to make a redundant skin. Last Halloween, they came out with Dr. Mundo. Of course, they're gonna make Ghost. It's just what they do.
Either way, it's interesting skins. I wish they would have done more or changed them around a little bit, but oh well. And they didn't bring back Frozen Brain this year.
Yeah, they didn't bring back the themed one. They put in the candy, they put in the limited edition runes, but they didn't put in the Frozen Brain.
Oh.
I think people got confused.
Why is there Frozen thing? I don't know. It's weird.
Half-price quints are always nifty. Pick them up.
They're 2.5. If you guys are looking to pick up some decent ones and you're not level 30 yet, definitely pick these ones up. If not, wait for Christmas when we get the level 3 runes that are just as good and half off. So either way, just stock up a bit if you need some runes.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? 2.5 is garbage. If you're level 30, you need to get rid of that.
Last year you would have been like, oh, 2.5! Yes! Yes!
I'm level 30. I thought you guys were noobs. We got some skin and champion sales. First, our champion sales. We got
we have Yorick.
Yorick, great lane phase champion. If you really want to kind of go for an early game win.
Boy, and even in Dominion, he wrecks bottom. He just destroys them.
It's true.
Highly suggest using him in Dominion on bottom.
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn is amazing. Great map control, great damage. Really good for surprising your opponents with just how quickly they die.
And Zillion.
Zillion is really the support of the new generation.
He's the new generation.
High damage, great ults, constant slows and speeds. He's really the best support in my opinion right now, especially if the heal nerfs. I love him to death. I wish more people played him.
Completely agree.
DJ Jihad Light.
Oh, goodness.
Now for skin sales, we have Northern Front Swain.
Oh, God. Swain, this skin's really good looking for him.
Since he only has 2.
Yeah, well, he should get some more. He has the pirate one.
He has the pirate and the frozen. There's 2.
Oh, yeah.
Durr. Counting's hard.
How do I use my brain? It is kind of an expensive skin for what really is just kind of a white recolor with a hat.
It does change the effect on his ultimate, though.
Yes, that's true, which is very nice looking, but yeah. Buyer's discretion on this one.
Sinful, Succulent.
One of our best looking skins, and for only $4.87, it's a great looking skin. I'd definitely pick it up.
I don't know why I was a hard time reading that. Frozen Shen.
Frozen Shen, again, this is the Scorpion Sub-Zero thing. There are definitely better skins for Shen out there.
Well, there's really only one, and it's Dr. Shen.
Well,
and
no,
it's
there's
fantastic.
No,
there's Blood Moon.
Blood Moon's pretty good looking.
Uh,
But for only $260, if you're looking for a cheap edition, I mean, it's not a bad looking skin. That's the one I have, and I like it.
And that's really it about main news.
Oh yeah.
I think, unless it's more tournament stuff. Yeah.
No.
So just an unofficial poll, who is still playing Dominion? I know a lot of people played it, didn't like it, stopped playing it, and the queues have actually gotten exponentially longer, for me at least. I don't know if it's just because I'm in a crazy high ELO or what, but yeah. Are you playing it? Are you not playing it? Still like Summoner's Rift better?
I like Summoner's Rift better just because a lot of times Dominion feels like I don't lose because my opponents are better than me. I lose because of some fluke or because I got to a certain level and my champion is unstoppable now. It's like, oh.
When I played, I always played as Jana or some really, really weird character. And it was weird because these are the characters I could win with because I was so defensive with them. And people don't like defensive, I guess. When I would sit there and guard like the whole left side of all our points by using tornadoes and stuff to keep people off, people didn't like that. And so I got kind of pushed out for being defensive instead of overly aggressive, which was weird.
Yeah, Jana's basically worthless in Dominion.
Not really. She has like instead of healing, she gives out the shield, which since there's healing there, she's really good.
Yeah, but if you have to defend a tower alone, it's impossible. Even against one character that's even decent at harassing. Yes, her tornado's neat and all, but you're just gonna get harassed to death.
Yeah, there's not really many good melee characters I play, and I'm really not looking forward to being that Rammus guy. So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people think. Moving on to our own questions. First question comes from email. This comes from Jimmy. He says, with the release of Dominion, we were given 2 new summoner spells, Garrison and Promote. These 2 spells have a great use in Dominion. But what are your opinions on them and the other spells, and how would you rank them on a scale of 1 to 10? Within Dominion, I assume we're talking about here, all summoner spells are kind of weird. Garrison and Promote, obviously, are very good spells. I like to use them both offensively and defensively. But the other ones, no one really talks about. So, let's go talk about it now. We'll give them a ranking. Exhaust, first one was clearly, is always a good one. I love Exhaust. It's great. There's so much uptime in Dominion that being able to knock down that uptime on any given character is really great, especially with the improved. It reduces resistances, gives your spells so much more damage. I love Exhaust. I'm probably going to give it an 8 just because it's great. Cooldown is a little bit long, though. Next up is Ghost. Ghost is amazing on this map. It's probably one of the best summoner spells out there. It's such a quick cooldown. It ignores unit collision. You can use it whenever, wherever. You can spec into it for a very long duration for even more move speed. And combined with the speed shrines, you're just a speed demon. 10. 10 out of 10.
Next we got Heal. 1, it's completely worthless. The map has a nerf on all heals, and taking the summoner spell, it takes away from anything else that could be useful because you're not going to be healing as much as it should. So instead of healing for, basic 140, it's not going to heal anything. It's going to probably heal you about a fourth of that, and it's completely useless.
Next up, we have Revive. Revive is okay in Dominion. It's nothing great. But with Preservation, the improved version of it, plus the base movement speed, it is a long cooldown, granted. But even at the start of the game, you use it at the start of the game in that top fight, you take all the damage, you revive Ghost back to the battle. It's amazing. I give it an 8. It's just a great spell.
Next up is Smite. Unless you're really afraid of Tibbers, I wouldn't take this spell. It's mediocre for pushing. It's okay for taking out a Heimer turret here and there. Or if you really just don't like stuffed teddy bears, yeah, take it. Otherwise, don't. 2.
2? It's
2
not even
out of 10. I don't like teddy bears. It gives it a point.
Cleanse, it removes... Everyone knows what Cleanse does, but Cleanse is an amazing ability. there are a lot of people that like to play melee on Dominion, and Cleanse is really a godsend for melee and even in some cases ranged and casters. But it gives you so much more uptime. It's your get out of jail free card. Maybe there's one last hit on a character you need to get in that turret is taking you apart. As Tryndamere, you need to get one more hit, pop Cleanse, spin through, kill somebody. It's really an amazing ability, and it's such a short cooldown. It's probably one of the better ones out there. I give it a 10.
Next we have Clarity. Clarity's an alright spell. It's not as good as it is because it's more of a fast-paced format, so every once in a while you can pop it. It's probably better used defensively if you're taking out a turret, if you're ready to, go into battle, like, and you're low on mana and stuff like that. But since there's improved base, it's really kind of not worth having. You can put it in something else. You can have the Cleanse. You can have anything else. It's with Heal. It's just kind of lackluster in this format because you can always just head back and use a ghost or something and catch up back with your team. So you can always just find a way around it. So it's kind of just a wasted...
Plus there's improved mana regen on the map, isn't there?
Exactly. Yeah. So, 1.
Next up is Ignite. Now, it really depends on what character you're playing and what role you're going to be playing. I normally play bottom as a mage or range type character. And bottom it's very important that you hold your ground and that you win those one-on-one battles. And Ignite helps you do that a lot. In other situations where you're constantly running around trying to take turrets, or whether you're running around and ganking and assaulting, it's not nearly as useful. So I'm going to give it a 6 just because it's very situational.
We have Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is not really good on the map. You have the whole outer ring that's automatically lit up the whole game, so you can see where everybody is. And in the jungle, it's pretty predictable where people are going to be, and it's really, really not a good idea to even be in there for too long. You use it mainly for small gangs or just getting around certain areas. So you're not going to be in there all the time, and if there are gangs, you're already going to know that they're going to be there. So having Clairvoyance is not really worth having it. So I'm going to give it about a 2. It has some functionality, but it's still not really that good.
Last up is Flash. Now, in Summoner's Rift and Twisted Treeline, Flash is essential for squishy characters because it allows you to get out of situations where if you die, you are in serious trouble. It's not so much of a big penalty for dying in Dominion, and the walls are really not all that jumpable. Very few walls are able to get over with Flash, and in many situations, Ghost is just better. It's offensive, it's defensive, whereas Flash, why would you use it in an offensive situation? That's just silly talk.
The one that is strangely absent is Rally. You cannot use Rally on Dominion, which is kind of a bummer, because you never get to use Rally on Summoner's Rift. And on Dominion, Rally would be amazing. Hey, I'm defending a point. Hey, it just doubled my damage output.
Well, at least it seems like it would, have a niche there.
But they took it out because they're dicks.
They put it out for Promote, which was overpowered back in...
No. They Promote was traded for Teleport.
I thought that was Garrett's. Either way, they were traded out. Something was traded out for another. And
No, Rally is just X'd out. There's nothing it was traded for. They just say, nope, can't do it. It's kind of lame.
I thought I saw it for a while.
No, you're a liar. You're a liar, and I nearly hit you.
Not even going to finish it.
Nope.
Thank
I don't
you,
even want to.
Tommy Wiseau.
This is TW!
We got, next question comes from our comment section. It comes from Bannock. He says, what is your opinion on troll builds? I know some can work, like AD Sauna. It used to work quite well. But sometimes you see builds like Gangplank's crit build on a Janna, and it defies belief. Bannock, troll builds, crazy things like Criddle Sticks or move speed, boots mobility, 5 zeal, cannon. They're cute, they're fun, but really, if you don't play with friends or in a custom game, you're ruining the experience for 9 other people. So troll builds, while they are fun, I don't think they're appropriate unless you go in knowing the spec's going to actually work. Criddle Sticks can work, obviously. 80 Sonic can work, 80 Soraka can work. But really, it's better to go in with a reliable build and try and help your team out rather than going, whoa, I are evil now.
In general, I don't like troll builds. I don't use them myself. I don't like seeing them on either team, mine or theirs. But there is occasions where, say, you play AD Cassidon in a team that is predominantly AP, and you throw the entire team off. You force them to build magic resistance, and then you're like, troll, I'm just going to do all kinds of physical damage to you now and kill all your mages. It works then. It's my really only example.
I don't know. I'm always the guy that gets stuck with the troll build. I rarely see it on an enemy team, and when I do, I really feel bad because it's probably a 2,000 movement speed Rammus getting across the map, running into our towers, and just dying constantly and just continuously feeding. And that's not worth it, but sometimes it is funny when you have a Criddle Sticks on your team or just something silly that really is helping you win the game and the other team is frustrated because they're losing to it. That's kind of funny, but keep it in custom games or keep it in private games and stuff like that because really it's not very fun.
Bravery!
Bravery pisses me off.
Oh,
I feel so bad winning because it's just like I know they're trying their hardest, but they're not going to do well.
Bravery level 3 achieved. Oh, I love bravery.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's it for our questions this week, guys. Send more questions into our comment section or to our email, spazticgaming@gmail.com. You can find the link in the information below if you can't get a magnifying glass. Love questions. We usually do one from the comments, one from the email every week. Sometimes two from one. So, yeah, if your question didn't get answered, sorry. Send them in.
Minecraft server is still up and running. You can thank Jolly Green for that. We are on 1.9. We're going to constantly update it as soon as Notch and Mojang gives us more stuff.
Thanks, Jolly Green.
It has the internets.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it'll be updated with the curve there, guys. And I might even hop on there at some point.
It is brony friendly, unfortunately. We have
I recant my previous statement.
Don't worry. They're all made out of cloth. One thing of fire will destroy them all.
Good.
Kept his giant brony statues and strange little pony crap.
He turned my Enderman statue into a pony with a giant wang.
Phallic symbol. Phallic symbol.
That's what boys do. Boys do.
But yeah, join us. We have fun with it. We're trying to start up RP elements to it, so that will be fun. And what else do we got going?
I think that's it, to be honest.
Oh, we have Let's Plays and stuff with JCB. We're still hoping people will watch. Not desperate. Just check it out. You know, give support. Tell us what you guys would like to see.
Don't support them. They're terrible people.
Yes, I am a terrible person.
They killed orphans. It's about family. And they're orphans. No, yeah, go look at those. They put a lot of work into them. They're definitely fun to watch. I always watch them. They're pretty good. So.
And he's not just saying that because he's with the sign.
Yeah, no, I would never.
Totally legit, man.
It's super legit. Quote something.
Well, that's really it for our stuff this week, guys. We're still working on boot camp and everything like that. So look forward to us saying L2Pay nerds.
This is how you do it hardcore.
Except pronounced properly. And yeah, this has been Axis.
And Water Elemental.
With Jelly Green.
And I'm telling you,
Batman!
61 days. 61 days.
Dude, I got back Batman Arkham City. I don't need Sword Art.
61 days. 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 61